The markets are dropping. People's emotions are going wild. You scared, bro? Let's talk about it. This is Mike, the Tactical Stock Scalper. All right. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to help you mentally, maybe, through this process as the markets are going down. There's a lot of people that have only been in the markets a couple of years, and they have a really hard time dealing with the markets going down. So let's just start here, and I have some notes here I may look at from time to time. Okay, this is nothing but a natural market cycle. I know there's some Middle East tensions, and there's like, I don't know, other things going on with Jay Powell and stuff that can drop the market or rise it. Guys, this stuff happens on a regular, and it happens all the time through the course of history. This is nothing. This is a blip on the radar. But saying that might not be enough for you. So let's kind of go here. You let your emotions take over your logic. And let's just do this exercise for yourself, okay? Pull out the S&P chart, put on a weekly time frame. Go back 10, 20 years, whatever you want to look at. And you will see the natural market cycles and rhythms of the markets of going up, then down, up, then down, right? You see this natural rhythm in the market. A great exercise to do is pretend it was 5 years ago. Pretend it was, let's just say, during COVID. Pretend it was during 9/11. Pretend it was during a bubble. Pretend it doesn't matter. There's always a circumstance, right, which drops the market. Just pretend you're in one of those cycles and you look at past history. How would you have handled it knowing what you know now? Like just by looking at the chart and pretend you're living in that time period. What would you do? Well, you'd probably hold positions. You'd probably be adding as the markets were going down because why? What do you see on the chart? Inevitably, the markets go back up, okay? So that's a really good exercise, I think, particularly for newer investors who haven't been through periods of turbulence and, you know, ups and downs and the natural cycles and rhythms of the market. So the first thing to do, guys, don't overthink it. It's really, honestly, it's not complicated at all. Matter of fact, it's so simple that most people just don't do it because it is so simple. I'm just going to tell you what I do during these periods, okay? Leading up to these periods, we always know something is going to happen when a market rises for a certain amount of time in a row. For instance, this last row, 6 months in a row, the market has gone up, and there hasn't been any kind of sizable pullback. So what does that mean? That means we know one is coming, and it's probably going to be deep, right? Because of that, the market has to drop back down and find buyers. So knowing that, as the markets are rising, it's important to build cash positions. Don't over allocate, right? And buy things that you have conviction in. And that will help you when the market starts to come back down. Number one, if you have conviction in something, that means you have belief, and there's a reason why you have belief in it, right? People hate when you say belief. Heck, they'll make YouTube videos and make fun of people for saying they believe in something. So we'll use a different word, conviction. There, that should help those trolls. If you have conviction in something, there's a reason why you have conviction in it, not just because you like it, because of facts or history or, you know, their sheets when it comes to earnings, whatever. There's a reason you have conviction. That helps your emotions, okay? So if you do preventative measures as the market's going up, when it comes back down, it puts you in a really good spot. And you start getting excited. So I'll tell you what I do. I build a cash position. Market's coming down. I'm buying. I'm holding all my positions, right? I'm not selling anything for a loss. To me, during a cycle like this, that is absolutely foolish for me and my plan. So the market's coming down. I just buy at levels on the chart. It's really simple. And I have cash saved up because I didn't spend it all because I wasn't greedy as the markets were going up, because I knew something like this was coming. We never know when or what's going to be the trigger. We just know it's going to happen. Just as the market will go back up. So if you look at past history, you build a cash position. Now you know the harmonic cycles of the market, right? So as it's coming back down, I just hold positions and buy. Why do I do that? Well, it gets my average cost lower. It increases share size. So that way, when the inevitable occurs, just like the drop that we're having now is inevitable, just like the inevitable rise back up is going to happen. Now, the power, the absolute power of buying stocks or ETFs that are related to the market really come through for you. And this is why, because we know through 100 years of history that the Standard & Poor, the S&P, the Dow Jones always recover. Always. It's been through World War I, World War II, Vietnam, pandemics, bubbles, crisis, president assassinations. It doesn't matter. It's been through it all, and it always recovers. Yes, there's down periods, right? But at the end of the day, it always recovers. So if you know this as to be fact, like the Dow Jones and the S&P and even the NASDAQ the last 15 years or whatever, that 20 years that's been out. Since you know all this is fact, why are you worried? Why are you freaking out? Why are you, there's no point, because you know what the inevitable is going to be. It's going to recover. So during this time, I buy shares, I hold my positions, and I just increase everything. So when it goes back up, I'm sitting really good. And then when it goes back up, I sell positions and I make money from that. Okay, you got it. Now, the true might of dividend investing stocks really comes through in situations like right now, particularly covered call funds, right? They get a bad rap as the market was rising because covered call funds don't have the growth of a growth stock, right? Or even a really small dividend stock that pays like 5 to 9%, right? It doesn't have that upside potential. But as it's going down with the covered call fund, they're making money from premiums. Therefore, and the premiums are bigger because puts are more expensive for one, right? So when you do that and the market's going down, volatility increases, option prices increase. Therefore, dividends will be great, right? So as it's going down, you're going to collect dividends. If you held a stock that didn't have dividends, you wouldn't be sitting very pretty. You'd probably be freaking out even more. So it's cool. We're collecting dividends as it's coming down, increasing share size, right? Or lowering our average price, not afraid to buy. And then when it goes back up, the future you will be so happy that you did it. Hope you enjoyed the content. This is Mike, the Tactical Stock Scalper, out.